which was very, very disturbing and worrying is, Kavita ji, that Telangana witnessed a surge in cases of phone harassment in 2020. What more can be done to help women?
Primarily, Maria ji, not only Hyderabad, this has been the case across the globe. Post-pandemic, big deal of harassment has started happening over the phones. And also, you should understand, I would like to share one number with you. The percentage of women who use phones in rural areas of India and in Telangana is very less compared to men. And even if they use phone, there is no access to internet. So now, post-pandemic, that has changed. So when the technology comes in, harassment also comes in along with it. Till date, only about, say, 35% of women have access to internet in rural India today. But then even those 35% get the harassment calls along with the internet. So now the real challenge with our government is how to face that as one, but yet how do we make sure that internet penetrates into rural India, rural Telangana? Because when internet can be a great enabler, and there are many, many studies which talk about if you can just bring around 600 million more women onto internet, how can the world GDP grow by 18 billion? And I believe very strongly as a woman, we have a very weird working curve. You know, by the time we get married, have children, we would be peaking in career, and once you have child, your career also goes down with that. But then technology, if we can educate our women in technology, they can work from home. So we really need to make sure that internet goes into the villages. Telangana government is working towards it. I mean, my dream personally is like today, a woman sitting in a village house rolling beedies. Tomorrow I want her to be working on a laptop. You know, that is the kind of vision we have for Telangana. So we are working towards it. Digitally empowering the women and citizens of Telangana is our goal. And that is why we newly launched the ICT policy 2021-2026 for the next 5 years. It's a brilliant policy with a lot of impetus on making sure we digitally empower our citizens with a lot of security details in place.
Yes. So, ma'am, when you talk about this ICT policy, again, that will be about women feeling that they have an extra tool in their hands. But overall, that entire approach towards harassment continues to be in which women shy away from taking these issues up. Their first response is to just block these callers rather than report. And also the role of men, the stakeholders, the men in the homes, I mean, to have that comfort that women can have that conversation with their fathers and their brothers at home.
Don't you think it's a societal issue? Governments can make laws, but then they can't change the mindset. For society as a whole to change, I believe today, I'm a very optimistic person. I believe today there is a larger acceptance for women to go out and work. At least in Hyderabad, that is the case. There is a larger acceptance for women to work from home, larger acceptance for women to, because we've broken all kinds of records in Telangana. We have a first junior lineman who goes up the poles like men and fixes electric lines for you. We have the first mining engineer in Telangana who goes down along with other men, tills the coal and gets it out. So we've broken all kinds of barriers in Telangana. There is a larger acceptance today in our society, and there's an open-mindedness. Now, how do we take it to the next level? Definitely it is a challenge, but only governments making rigid laws won't help. Society as a whole, we have to work together. You are doing a great effort. Our government is doing a great effort. Together, I'm sure all of us can reach to that point, but it won't happen today, tomorrow. I'm not that optimistic, but then, yeah, we will. It's a work in progress. We will keep it.
And this Truecaller News18 network campaign, it's not okay. We are emphasizing on call it out.
Right.
Because it's not okay to just block, but to call it out. The collective responsibility, that sense that we should have, where the policymakers, along with the society, becomes responsible. What do you think should be done at various stages?
Well, this is where I believe more education for women is required, because if somebody starts calling you, start sending you texts that you don't want and unnecessarily harassing you, then as you rightly said, we cringe and then we immediately delete or block that post. But then that won't help a police officer to help us. That won't help a government or an NGO to help you. So it will be uncomfortable, but then I request all my sisters, if you get a message, if you get a call which you are not interested in, you save it. Take a screenshot, save the time, save the real-time links, make sure that you can present it to the authorities one day when you want to report. Unless and until you want to report, nobody else can help you. But don't lose hope. Today in Telangana, if you report, you'll get the result very quickly. We have proven it in many, many cases where we have picked up boys who were eve-teasing the girls, counseled them, put some of them in the jails if required, left some of them with counseling. But there is a logical end to this issue. We can take it to the end. Our government can take it to the end. So if you get a message that you are not interested in, don't block it, don't delete it, save it, be smart, use the technology to save yourselves also. So please be educated, and I'm thankful to Network 18 for bringing this education to girls and women. I think more of this education has to go in as to how a process can be taken up so these perpetrators can be punished one day.
And what role do you think men will play in this entire journey? Because I think the emphasis on men as allies becomes important, isn't it, ma'am?
See, men won't give you control until and unless you take it from them. And they will not like us taking control. They will not want us to be on internet. They will not want us to be in the spaces where they ideally should be. So it's a what should I say now? It's a civilization issue, right? But then we can't give up. We are very, very tough people, women. We should not give up. We should continuously continue to claim our right on using internet. And of course, men, we, as I always request them, kindly speak for us. Because if you speak for us, then there will be more power. If you speak for us, we will have additional strength. Not that we are not strong enough, but we are going to surpass you one day, so you better join the band, start supporting us immediately, because we are already getting to a place where we are doing very good and excellent in every possible field, and I'm sure we will excel in the digital field as well.
And you said it rightly, the digital space comes with its advantages and disadvantages. There is snooping that happens, there is cyberbullying, cybercrime. It is open with challenges.
True.
And do you think women tend to feel very, very vulnerable? And any anecdote that you would have to share with us about your experience or having a conversation with any of your karyakartas about it?
There are many experiences. Unfortunately, what happens as in regular crime, people who know you will bully you first, or people who know you will haunt you and harass you first, even on cyberspace. So that's an unfortunate trend that is happening. So if you get a harassment call, immediately think about your inner circle or close circle. Try and be very smart about who could this person be, how can we identify them. So that could be the beginning. Second thing, I always tell women, don't give up here, don't give up, don't lose hope. There will be systems, if you speak out, 100 people will come to support you. It has happened in many, many cases. People who approach me, people who approach any NGO, any governments are willing to help. It's only for you to speak up. And that courage nobody can give you. You have to yourself fight it out, get your problem out there, and there will be hundreds of people to help you out. I can give you the confidence. Telangana government is there, SHE teams is there, our brilliant police department is there. So please, please, please speak up.